Hey guys, welcome back to Economics and Comics. Well, we're trying a new name. We're trying a bunch of new things with this show. So get ready for the Billy Joel Show. I'm Billy, host of Economics and Comics. This is Joel Massey, professional film critic, guys.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for taking me again. I mean, this is the greatest thing ever. The fact that I'm able to access all these movies with Joel. It's a lot of fun, and we both have different viewpoints. So maybe not on this movie. We'll see. But we went and saw Birds of Prey. And I got to be honest, I'm super excited because this was one heck of an improvement.
I was very shocked at how much I enjoyed this film.
I did too.
I was not expecting to like it at all, really. And I think it has a little bit to do with the kind of lackluster way the film has been previewed, and I guess the trailers weren't supposed to be very good, and so there wasn't a lot of buzz, I think, going in. But now that I've seen it, I would say I would compare it to some of the better of the comic book films out there.
It blew all the DC movies out of the water except for Joker, but that was a black label.
I think it to me it felt a little bit like it caught some of the comedy, violent magic that you see in Deadpool. It's almost to be a little bit like that, almost like a all-female cast of Deadpool.
And what's really interesting is, it was Harley for about 45 minutes. I mean, and then, they started introducing the characters. They would jump back and forth, kind of giving a brief origin of all these characters, Black Canary, Huntress, even Cassandra Cain's in there.
And then Rosie Perez plays younger. A police officer.
Rosie Perez is Renee Montoya. Mm-hmm. They've got Victor Zaz in there. They have Black Mask. I mean, so it was very interesting.
Yeah, when you think about it, the basic premise is that Harley Quinn has broken up with the Joker.
Yeah.
So now she's on her own. So what is she going to do? She's basically lost all of her protection from being the Joker's girlfriend. So now hundreds and hundreds of people are after her.
Everyone wants to kill her because
she's screwed up a lot of people's lives.
Yeah. But
so it almost starts like an adventure, like her adventure.
It's her story.
And she's narrating it.
Yeah. It's narrated by her the whole time. But it's I gotta admit, it was really good. I was really happy because I was really let down with Suicide Squad. And I don't know, a lot of you some of you might have enjoyed it. It was okay, but this is a whole different movie. This is not Batman, Superman. This is not Justice League. This is a new wave. It's not fully Joker, but because there's a lot of comedy. But the action sequences were awesome. We won't do any spoilers. We'll give you a little bit about the story, but we're not going to spoil anything. We'll talk about cast and stuff like that and what we thought in general, because a lot of people, we are live. A lot of people don't want it to get spoiled, and I understand that completely. If me spoiling it by saying it was really good, I hope that's a good spoiler for you, because I was really nervous in regard to, God, I hope it's not like Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
I just hope it's not.
A lot of people thought that Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn was the best part of Suicide Squad. Mm-hmm. So they kind of took that character out of Suicide Squad and added her to a new cast of characters, and
they were
her
good
adventure from her point of view. Yeah.
The Huntress, she was. I really liked the Huntress. What movie is she?
Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
She was just in the Gemini Man we just saw. Cloverfield. She's starting to come out as a good actress.
Oh, she was in,
and she's a badass.
She was in one of the Die Hard movies or something.
Oh yeah, she was his daughter.
She's an interesting actress, and yeah, she does really well here. I think tonally they got a lot right, and it's because first of all, the film is a hard R rating. There's a lot of cursing, there's a lot of violence, there's a lot of blood.
The violence is pretty intense.
Yeah, there's some pretty violent sequences in this film. However, so the way I look at it is that the story, the plot, the action, all of that is very serious. The violence is very serious. But because they have Harley Quinn narrating, and she's kind of a goofy character to begin with, it allows that humor to get infused throughout the whole thing.
Yeah,
because
that was great.
Even when they're doing really violent things, she can narrate over it and make jokes, or she can stop the picture and kind of do reverse and flashbacks, and just a lot of really interesting ways to keep it a little lighthearted, even when they're doing very serious things.
Yeah, and you know what? They have enough time in the movie to build the origins and other characters in there. Even though, what is it, about an hour and 40 minutes? Even though like the first 45 minutes really deals with just Harley, they take enough time needed to go back and build a little bit of origin of the Huntress, a little bit of the Black Canary. Not too much on her, but she's a pretty main character in this.
Huntress might be the one where this has the least backstory, but although she's a pretty integral part.
Well, they don't really talk about Black Canary's story. They just talk about her mom being a hero, and indicating that she has a power, you know.
Yeah.
But the Huntress, at least you know her backstory. And this, at least, you know, she was a part of a mafia family, and they all get killed. So it's a revenge story on her end. She gets trained to be a killer. I really like her character. And you know what's funny is they make her real hardcore, but then they stop for a second and make her funny too, like her practicing what she wants to be called.
Yeah. Well, they make her a little socially awkward. So while she's kicking ass seriously, when she has conversations with the other girls, it's very funny a lot of the times because of the things she says.
Yeah, she's definitely has issues. And another thing with Harley is her psychology degree, comes into play a lot in this movie. Like she's like diagnosing people. You can tell that Harley's really smart, which I liked too. She admits she's absolutely insane, but she diagnoses people through the whole movie, which is kind of funny. Did you notice that?
Yeah, a little bit.
The other thing I really, really liked about this was the fighting choreography. There's
the
rumor out there
are done very well, and they're very serious. A lot, you feel those punches, you feel the people breaking limbs and things like that.
Oh yeah.
It's
but what's interesting is I heard a lot of whispering in the theater from the other movie critics that the same person that did the John Wick fight choreography scenes is the same guy. But we couldn't confirm that because we were on a hurry to get back home.
I've heard so many people say that, though. It wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying it. And you could honestly, you could see it because there was a lot of, you know, arm breaks.
Yeah. It's a lot of hand-to-hand combat, not so much gun work, but a lot of hand-to-hand.
She uses her bat and she uses whatever she has. But you know, they do a lot of slow-mos and they show her. Now it had to be the same people from Wick because when she's fighting multiple people, I noticed the same thing. Like she'll hit one guy, then she'll work on another guy for a second, then really quick hit that guy again and come back. That's classic John Wick. So I really enjoyed that too. It's so much better than Suicide Squad. It's so much better.
And bounds.
Again, I think that they're learning from their mistakes over at DC. I know Joker's in a realm of its own because it's super dark and it's Black Label, and it was kind of like really hard to make that movie. From getting permission from DC, I heard it took a long time. But in this one, you can tell they learned from their mistakes in this, I believe.
Yeah, well, it's such a balanced blend of comedy with action and violence.
Yeah,
and
well, you got to have the comedy with Harley.
Yeah,
and talk about characters. Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, Ewan McGregor plays Black Mask.
He is pretty crazy.
He is just unhinged through a lot of this movie, and I think it's such a great performance because it's a little unexpected. He's playing it at times serious, at times just insane. There's one sequence in the film where he shows how serious it can be to be dealing with somebody who is completely insane.
Yeah.
And you just have no idea what they're going to do. And that sequence was almost like gripping the seat. It's so stunning and shocking. And I was blown away by this sequence. And I won't spoil it.
But he's very interesting to watch. He doesn't have any really main action parts because he's like the boss.
But he switches back and forth from being like a serious mob boss and just a complete lunatic.
Yeah,
he cracks jokes here and there, and it was a really interesting performance from him.
And of course his henchman, his right hand is Victor Zsasz. So, and of course he's an insane, suicidal maniac killer who gets off on killing people. I liked his role. This is my own opinion, but if you ever watch Gotham, I don't know if you do or not. I really like that Victor Zsasz in Gotham. But this is a different role. And I think that, you can't compare it. It's a TV show and all that, but I thought that was very interesting with him too. Cassandra Cain is, yeah, Cassandra Cain's very interesting. She's like this young pickpocket.
Yeah.
And
Kind of
she's,
a
Harley kind of takes
sassy,
her.
upstart kind of a girl. Yeah. So.
Oh, sorry, we're reading the chat.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. Go ahead, Joe.
So for me, the one of the things I liked so much about this film is that it has all of the tropes and what a lot of people would consider pitfalls and shortcomings of this genre. Things like I'd written down a bunch of things, but the non-chronological storytelling, where they start in the middle and cut back and jump forward and freeze frame and do those kind of things. So it has things like that. It has flashbacks. It has to do some intros for characters and backstory for characters. It has the costume that a lot of the times affect superhero movies. It has all of those things, and yet the way Harley Quinn as the narrator approaches them is with a kind of a wink and a nod, saying, "Yeah, I know some of this is kind of silly, or I know some of this is stupid, but we're going to address it, and we're going to come right out and say, look, this is I get it, but we're doing it anyways," or things like that. It's very clever. They've done it before in other films, but I think her as the narrator just really opens it up for comedy. It allows you to kind of look at some of these tropes and say, I buy into it, or I'm okay with it. And even some of the contrivances, things happen where she gets out of scrapes a little too easy, or she's about to get killed and something random happens and she gets out of it. All those kind of things.
Almost like a domino.
Yeah,
like she gets lucky to get out of it. But a very good movie, I thought. I was pleasantly surprised, even though you're at the beginning of the year, most of the poopy movies come out. This ain't that. This is probably one of the best I've seen all year.
It is, it's February, so typically you don't see their stronger films early on. So it's possible the studio didn't really know if
it's a Valentine's Day movie, kind of. It's like a breakup Valentine's Day movie.
Yeah.
And her hyena's in it.
Oh yeah.
She calls him Bruce after Bruce Wayne. She thinks Bruce Wayne's handsome, and I think it's a real hyena.
Oh, I don't know,
dude. I think it's a real hyena.
No way.
I'm serious, dude. I think that's a real hyena.
I'm sure they used real hyena sound effects and everything because it sounded pretty good. But it wouldn't surprise me at all if they took like a large dog and kind of did CG over it a little bit, because it did move pretty well. But I don't think hyenas are the kind of animals you can train like that.
Well, they're dogs.
Yeah, but they're like...
You could train anything, Joel. Look,
so they get it as a baby and raise it.
Women can train anything. Mike Rogers asked, does it have a Mob-Wise feel? No. Thank God. I don't think it has a Mob-Wise feel at all. These are a group of people that are thrown together over one situation, and at the end is when they finally work together. They all have their separate stories, and they all come together at the end, which I really like about that.
It's almost, it doesn't have that overly ensemble feel to begin with, because you kind of get every character's point of view at times.
Yeah.
And they interact in some scenes, but it's not all of them are in all the scenes. It's kind of almost, they get together a little bit more toward the end, but throughout, it's
not a full-on team movie. It's a Harley Quinn movie with multiple characters that are getting introduced that all work together at the end. And you know what? Honestly, in saying that, that's what's so damn good about the movie.
Yeah, it's unexpected.
How they put it all together. Structurally, I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say except I think you guys are going to really love it. I really do. I did. And you?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I was very pleasantly surprised at how well everything was put together. Even though, I guess if you really think about the plot, it's not anything out of the out of the ordinary, but the way it's presented is still very entertaining.
Yeah, it is interesting. Someone in the chat mentioned that the trailer was pretty bad, and you're right, it was. The trailers that I saw were bad, but from the beginning,
I avoided all the trailers as I
you always do.
Yeah, because I don't want to be influenced like that. But I think word of mouth early on, the buzz was that those trailers weren't very good.
Yeah,
so that hurts it too. So.
But this is not. There's some of the stuff in the trailers weren't even in the movie. I can tell you that. There was a scene in the trailer where they were all together in a car, I believe. That never happened. So very interesting.
It also, I want to say, it really helped that it was a hard R rating, because that just really gives you that contrast too between the humor and the violence, and it allows for the bad guys to be badder, it allows for the comedy to be mixed up with the crass humor and situational comedy and physical comedy, and you can even have a lot of violent comedy where people are getting hurt, but they do it in such a way that it's still kind of funny, almost a little bit like Kick-Ass, where there was a lot of violence. And
but this was even harder core than that, I think, and violence-wise, except for the one part with, well, we're not getting into that movie. But yeah, you did have that feel, but I think it was
also thought a little bit of Sin City in that.
In the city itself.
Yeah, the way that the city feels Gotham. Like its own thing. Yeah, and it's Gotham. It's very much a serious rendition of Gotham. A lot of the things in there made me think, well, if this is how Gotham would actually be if it were a real city. And I guess it's based on real cities and stuff. So, but
yeah, the classic villains where they all get together and they all have like different outfits and stuff. That kind of came in at the end. But I want to address one question really fast that we don't usually do on these reviews. But since it's a comic book review show, my show, this is the Billy Joel show, though. From now on, guys, the Billy Joel show. But I do have a comic book channel. Someone asked, will this movie urge you to buy more Harley or Birds of Prey comic books? I got to tell you, I think Harley Quinn is going to start skyrocketing. This movie can do that for Harley Quinn. Also, the Huntress. Black Canary is great. She has a great character, and the other characters in there. But the Huntress had the coolest second feel to Harley. Like the new introduction of the Huntress into the movies. I see that comic rising in value too. I don't really want to get into that though.
I think it helps a lot because the way Mary Elizabeth Winstead portrayed that character, everything she's doing is so serious, but because of that, she has rage issues, and she's damaged. She's had a very weird upbringing. All of that comes out in her social interactions, and so it makes her a very humorously weird character. And that helps.
Now, whether that translates to comic books or not,
I don't know if they do that in the comic books, but
definitely I would.
She's creating her own character. She's making it her own.
This movie is going to start heating up Harley, and people are going to want another one. Forget Suicide Squad, Harley Quinn. Just whether it's Birds of Prey or not, they open up the doors for a possibility.
Yeah.
But Harley's her own solo thing, and they make that very clear at the beginning and end of this movie, I think.
That's the theme of the movie, or her story is independence and going out there and being her own.
That's what this is. Yeah. Even in the title, what does it say?
It's Birds of Prey, and then the subtitle is the something adventures or
fantabulous emancipation
of one Harley Quinn.
Yes. You guys go see it. Go see it. Go see it. I think our fans are loving the Billy Joel show. I think they're liking the title. Thanks for taking me, Joel. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on the show.
And you guys, please check out more movie reviews in the future. We're changing some stuff up here, and we're going to go for it. So, again, very excited about Birds of Prey. Full on thumbs up from me. And we'll leave you with that. Enjoy the rest of your night, guys. See you later. Thanks, Joel.